Quickly, inshallah, this early morning, I want to seize this opportunity to talk about two major important topics. And before then, I want to use this opportunity to congratulate ourselves as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala count every one of us among those who are alive up to this moment to witness yet another opportunity, yet another great event, which is the Arafah. Today is the day of Arafah. A couple of days ago, we've been talking about it. We've been reminding ourselves how important and significant this day is. We thank Allah for counting us among those who witness it. May Allah accept our fasting. May Allah accept our supplications. May Allah continue to uplift every one of us. First thing that I quickly want to talk about is the significance of today and how do we maximize our opportunity. That's number one. Second thing, inshallah, briefly, I want to talk about tomorrow being the day of Eid and also being Friday. And when Eid and Friday, when it comes together, there are some rulings that we need to explain to ourselves in that regard because of time. Number one, today is day of Arafah. The judge, the pilgrims, they are already on the side of Arafah. They are already there on the ground of Arafah. And from they would have moved from the Mina, from their various tents, heading toward Arafah. Rasulullah sallam says, Al-Hajj, Al-Hajju Arafah. That is when we say Hajj is the day of Arafah. To be present on that area of Arafah, even if for a moment or for a second, just to be present there. That is the meaning of wukufu ala al-Arafah. That is, if someone does not perform Arafah, the person has no Hajj. So our brothers and sisters that are there, may Allah strengthen them, may Allah accept it from them. And then as for us that we are not on the day on the side of Arafah, just as we are fasting, I want to believe that majority of us are fasting. And for those that have not fasted, maybe we do not have the intention or we did not know that fasting of this day is highly recommended. We can, from now, if we have not taken anything, we can continue with the intention of fasting. May Allah accept it from us. And then Rasulullah sallam says that خير الدعاء دعاء يوم عرفة. That is one of the most important things I want to talk about. Rasulullah says خير الدعاء دعاء يوم عرفة. The best prayer, the best day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers prayers most is the prayer that we do on this day of Arafah. That is to say, it's a good opportunity for us to supplicate Allah and ask Him for all His bounties, for all His blessings. He has it in abundance. So one of the best days that we can do it is the day of Arafah. And then He says, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. And the best thing that he said, the first part of the hadith is that the best dua is the one that we do on the day of Arafah. The best prayer that we can say, that I and the Prophet that before me said on the day of Arafah is La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. For those of us that we do not know it, we should learn it. It should be one of the prayers that we'll be chanting regularly today. La ilaha illallah. So for those of us that we are conversant with the morning prayer, it's part of the prayers that are there. Morning, evening prayers. It's part of the prayers that are there. It's the best form of prayer that we are to do on this day of Arafah. And then what is the best time that we do it? The best time that we do and Maghrib. That time, please, today, it should be a day that we stand before Allah or we sit. Is the time that we raise up our hand and ask Allah for everything we want in this life. And then there is another hadith that Rasulullah says that there is no day that Allah emancipates from the hellfire than the day of Arafah. In fact, it is this day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be proud of human beings. Allah Akbar. Remember the story of creation, the beginning of creation, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told angels that I want to create this set of people, human beings. They gave their own opinion. Then they said that they are going to be shedding blood, even though we do it as humans, even though we are mischievous on the earth. But there are some moments that Allah Himself will be proud of His creation. One of them is this day that Allah will be asking the angels that what are they looking for? What do they request? What do they want? If it is maghfirah, then forgiveness, I've forgiven them. If it is these bunches of this word, I have given it to them. So it is now left for us to take the opportunity. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for every one of us. And the lastly, the second thing is the ruling pertaining a day which combines Eid, the day that we have to do Eid, do Salah at the same day, like tomorrow. We're going to have Eid, that is two khutbah. Khutbah to Eid, and then khutbah to what? Of Jummah. What is it? Of course, it's going to be very tedious to some people, to every one of us. But there are some rulings of Islam in that regard. I will quickly mention the opinions of scholars, then I will round it off by talking about the most acceptable of them. There are three opinions in that regard. Either to participate in Salat Eid, and also, Salat Eid is not compulsory, Abi, but it's Sunnah Mu'akkada that strongly recommended that we should participate in it. In fact, it's so recommended that even our women, even our children, even our women, if they are in their period, they are having their haidah, they should go to it, even though they are not going to participate in prayer, to witness what is going on there, to pray, to supplicate, to rejoice, to be happy, to feel free. That's, oh, mashallah, today is the day of Eid. That shows the level of its significance. So now, Salatul Jummah is compulsory, right? Salatul Jummah is compulsory. And then Salatul Jummah is a substitute for what? For Salatul what? Dhuhr. No doubt about that. Salatul Dhuhr is compulsory. Salatul Jummah is a substitute for Salatul Dhuhr. Then a day where you have these two prayers, that is two khutbah, Eid and Jummah. So it is highly recommended that that very day, there are three opinions of scholars on it. First opinion is the opinion of Ahnaf, Imam Abu Hanifa and Malikiya. Here in this part of the world, Malikiya, that's why majority of us will not be hearing this before. Our scholars will not tell us because according to Malikiya, Jummah is compulsory on its own, and then Salatul Eid it has its own ruling, which is Sunnah to Ma'akada. Sunnah, it's not compulsory, right? So it means that if you do Eid, there is nothing, because they are not even equal in the first place. If you do Eid, you have to come and do what? Jummah, because it's compulsory. Are we together? That's the opinion of Malikiya and Hanaf and some other scholars. Then the second opinion is the opinion of Ash-Shafi'iyah. What is the opinion of Shafi'iyah? It is saying that Salatul Jummah, Salatul Eid has its own ruling. Why Salatul Jummah is compulsory for those who are living in the city where there is mosque of Jummah and many other things. And for those who are living in villages where there is no Jummah far from them, they have to come. Remember those days, people will travel all the way from their villages to come down to the city because they want to observe Salatul what? Salatul Jummah. In that case, it's not compulsory on them. That is what Uthman ibn Affan and some Sahaba for Rasulullah, that's what he did the rukhsah. He gave them that opportunity, that chance. Now, as for the opinion of Hanabila, which is the opinion of majority of scholars. You see, let me tell you what brought about this. Because this is the opinion of especially the contemporary scholar. And then is the opinion that is backed up with a lot of evidence from the Sahaba, majority of Sahaba, Abu Bakr, Umar, Ibn Abbas, and many of those notable Sahaba. That is what they did throughout their life. That is to say, if Eid comes on Friday, after someone has participated in Salatul Eid, Salatul Jum'ah is not compulsory upon every other person except upon the Imam. But it is good to do Salatul Jum'ah. Yani, if he says not compulsory, maybe someone will say, okay, that day, no. It means you will go back to the origin. What is the origin? To pray Salatul what? Zuhur. That is the meaning. It's not that they say Juma is not compulsory. Thank God, today is a bonanza. No, we go back to Salatul Dhuhr. We pray Dhuhr. It's not compulsory except upon Imam. But it is good if we can do what? We can do it. Because of authentic of hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Ya ayyuhan nas, O you people, قد أصبتم خيرا اليوم." قد أصبتم to do Eid combined together. The Eid of Juma, the Eid of. So he then said that, yani, وَمَنْ شَاءَ مِنْكُمْ أَنْ يَشْهَدَ, who wishes among you to, yani, witness this, I mean, to participate, to attend Juma, let him do it. If you don't want to attend Juma, no problem for you. And then that's what majority of Sahaba, that's what they did. But mind you, to do Salat Juma, it's also what? Good that day. But if someone decide, okay, I'm not going to do it because of this, and I will pray my Dhuhr, is also allowed as for today. That is the basic ruling in that regard. We may ask ourselves, why not the Abu Hanifa? Why not Imam Maliki? Why not? Why did since we say this is the hadith of Rasulullah Sallam, this is the practice of the Sahaba. Let me tell you, this of thoughts of scholars, this school of fiqh. The first of them was Abu Hanifa. The second, yani according to the age of the scholar of all these madhab, Abu Hanifa, then followed by Kia, Imam Malik, followed by Imam Shafi'i, and the youngest among them is Hanbali. The reason why Abu Hanifa and Malikiya did not do it is because they did not know that hadith. Because they did not know during their time. Number one, Abu Hanifa was in Iraq. Then we know Iraq is not where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Rasulullah sallam. Iraq was far from where? From Mecca. Was far from Medina. Majority of Sahaba, where were they? They were in Mecca or Medina, especially in Medina. Because majority of Sahaba did live with Rasulullah sallam in Medina. Very few of them that moved down to these places, like Iraq, like Sham, like, very few of them. Majority of them were in what? In but and majority of things that was said apart from Quran by hadith of Rasulullah sallam is not that all the Sahaba had it at the same time. Very few of them may have. That's why you hear that each hadith that is quoted, they will say that from the authority of someone. That is someone that had it from Rasulullah sallam. Getting it? Some will be like, for example, now as I'm talking here today, all the members of the mosque that were there. There will be some days that very few lines that were there. Others were not there. Or maybe those that among us that had left to their of work. So they may not hear anything in that regard. Maybe they will be the one to travel to a far place. I said, I didn't know anything about that because it wasn't what? It wasn't there. And then during that time, the hadith was not compiled. So, but Malik was the first one who compiled hadith anyway. But not all the hadiths are compiled Muwatta. There is a book called Muwatta, which has very few hadiths compared to other ones. But after some years, when the knowledge of hadith was standardized, they have very ulum of hadith, the science of hadith. So there are a lot of hadith that Sahaba that were narrated. Because this thing they were Baba, and some of them were documented, were written, and everything was compiled. So that is why Imam Abu Hanifa, because they did not see those evidence. Imam Abu Hanifa and then Imam Malik and then Shafi'i, the one that he saw during the time of Uthman, that Sahaba Jalil, Sahabi Jalil is for all. Even if you are in the village or you are in town, if you attend khutbah of Eid, you may decide not to attend the khutbah of what? Of and then you pray Salat al-Dhuhr in his place. That is the explanations in that regard. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from us. May Allah accept it from us and count us among those who their sins will be forgiven, those who will be emancipated from the hellfire, those who will be admitted into Jannat al-Firdaus. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahu al-mulku wa lahu al-hamdu wa ala kulli shay'in qadir. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahu al-mulku wa lahu al-hamdu wa ala kulli shay'in qadir. La ilaha illa anta at-tawwabur rahim. Subhanakallah.